Hi friends, good evening. So welcome to the Pharma Analytics sessions by 360DigiTMG. So yesterday we discussed about machine learning primer. In that we discussed regarding supervised and unsupervised learning. So today we will discuss clearly about what is unsupervised learning. So it is nothing but clustering. Yeah. So nowadays data science is advancing into all the industries. So one of the industries is nothing but pharma, and every top pharmaceutical company uses data science to optimize the process and improve the results. So various pharma companies using data science concept to get the good results. Okay. So how the machine learning is implemented in pharma industry? Improving medical diagnosis means, suppose if without wasting of time, so they can diagnose. So because of machine learning concept, and by increasing team size, because in a particular hospital, the how many patients will visit and etc. If we have clear idea, we will take suitable steps so that in future nobody will get any problem. Similarly, better patient care. So it is done by the collecting the information regarding the patient. So patient past history. So what medicines we suggested in past and etc. If you know that information, to treat that patient will become very easy. Yeah. Predicted the next epidemic. We know already. Now from last 2 years, now it is okay. We face a lot of challenges because of coronavirus, pandemic situations. So if we predict, yeah, already we have the information. There is a particular gap. Some members are predicted in the particular time, so the inflection will be more. So to predict the next epidemic, so this concept also, so in this also machine learning will help. And drug efficiency detection. So how to utilize the drug in an efficient manner. So we have the various drugs and various diseases with various symptoms. So how a particular drug minimizing the symptoms of a particular disease. So in that way also we can go with we can do some analysis, and we can get a drug in and utilize in an efficient manner. So these are the major applications. So applications of machine learning in pharma industry. Let us discuss so unsupervised learning. So unsupervised learning is a machine learning technique. It is also called as a clustering. So in simple words, it's dividing the data set into groups. Data sets into groups. And so there will be any patterns. So by the data sets itself only, it can think any patterns by the historical data only. So it can predict, it will give rules. So this is nothing but clustering. So it is this algorithm, this unsupervised learning algorithm work in a similar way to how humans learn themselves. Like we will identify certain objects and events from various types, and we can understand the similarity. Yes. So how humans we are understanding. So in that way, the clustering will take place. So I'm going to explain now the use cases of clustering in pharma industry. The first use case I want to explain, that is Zika virus. Yeah. How we can use, I will explain Zika virus. This is one of the use case. So the main symptoms of the infection due to the Zika virus is fever, headache, joint pain, red eyes, and muscle pain. Okay. So now how we can implement the clustering concept, the spreading of the Zika virus. So let us take a simple data set. Okay, data set or data frame is simply nothing but the data is distributed in terms of rows and columns. So let us take some columns, take patient, and what are the symptoms? Location. So suppose patient A is getting symptom fever, coastal region. Let us take patient B, headache, inland region, not coastal regions. But two observations I have taken. Similarly, we can have the patient CD and number of patients. So every patient, okay, in the symptoms because of Zika virus, but the symptoms are varies between person to person and location to location. So if you take the data set, let us take observations of number of patients, we may have the data set, then we can apply the clustering concept. So when we apply the clustering concept, so it divides into some clusters, one or two clusters. So based on the clusters, so we can take suitable steps in different regions. So the regions at coastal area, so what precautions they need to follow, what steps they need to follow. In land regions, what they need to follow, etc. So based on the location, we can suggest and we can take some necessary steps for well-being of the people. Okay, yeah, this is the one of the use case. So how this how clustering concept is implemented to avoid the spreading of the infections of virus. So let us take, this is the first use case. Let us take one more use case. So where we are applying clustering concept in pharma industry. Now let us take a test A. There is a test A. It is related to identify some results, blood test. So test A, if test A is positive, so some abnormalities are present in a human body, so we need to undergo for various treatments. That's fine. But here test A is not always preferable. Okay, and it is 95% accurate. Okay, when you take the test, it will give 95% accurate. But the thing is, for initial, for simply if a person come with some symptoms related to the symptoms, suppose if a person tested just tested for one simple test and it becomes positive, if the symptoms are matches, I mean just without knowing symptoms, simply just one or two symptoms, if we suggest you take to the test, what will happen here? The cost is high. So let us assume test A, it will take 10 times costlier. Okay, so 10 times more cost. So compared to the normal test. Now here, what is our objective? So what is our aim here? Okay, so the aim will be here to find an alternate lab test which will help us in reducing the patients going directly to test A, because so test A is more costlier. If say there is a symptoms, common symptom, let us take fever. Okay, simply if somebody is suffering from fever, it redirects to some particular disease. So it is very dangerous in future. So what will happen? The persons, if they are unfortunately, if they are suffering from fever, so we have seen such type of things in our pandemic situation. So people suffered a lot, even because of cold, even because of fever. So if there is a simple fever, the person has to go to take test A. So it is again costlier for the person. My objective is I want to stop to go to take the test A. Yeah. My aim is reducing the patients going directly to test A. Then how I can approach this concept? So what I will do here, my process. So how I can give solution? The process is First, I will feed the past data with respect to test A and laboratory results. So anyway, I have some data. The data like symptoms, and here positive. Already I have data. What are the symptoms if a person is tested for positive? So I can take this data and so that I can understand. So what symptoms are majorly, just I may form one group so that I can identify what symptoms are exactly the related to test A, which is positive. If I am getting that symptom, if someone having that symptom, I can suggest to that person, please go to I prefer that person to go with test A. So in other cases, even if persons are tested, they will tested for A, their symptoms are different, but it is not positive. So in that case, if a data is matches with that symptoms, I will prefer that person no need to take test A. So I may have the result. Okay. So in suppose past 1,000 members, 1,000 members are just tested with this test A. In the 1,000, only 200 positive and 800 negative. But the symptoms are common. But there will be a few possibility of various symptoms. So based on the various symptoms, I can suggest that no need to go for the test A. So this is one of the use case I can explain by using the clustering concept. Next. So I can take one more use case where we are using clustering in pharma. So there will be a DNA. So not only human beings, but also animals have DNA. So the DNA sequence will be like AT, GG, HC. Yeah, there will be some sequence and so on. So here my point is, the human beings based on the DNA sequence, I can make just it is DNA sequence. Okay, humans, DNA sequence. And so I can make into one group diseases. Here I will take one more column, diseases, especially A, B, C. So there is some disease, some DNA sequence, some DNA. So I can make into groups. Okay. So based on the DNA sequence. So the persons who are having the common DNA sequence, that is one group. Same DNA sequences. Like that, one or two groups I will get. So that I can predict the persons who are having that particular DNA sequence. There will be one concept that is called gene function. So based on the gene function, a person what diseases he may get in future. So we can predict. So this is also one of the use case in pharma industry. And one more important thing I want to explain, that is drug repositioning. drug repositioning. So drug repositioning is nothing but identifying new uses for existing drugs. New uses for existing drugs. Meaning, I can say common example. Yeah. So due to the just we are very familiar with the COVID time. Usually the doctor suggested not a particular unique medicine. So they have used the medicine which are available at that time, like Dolo and some antibiotic medicine, etc. So the meaning is already the drugs we have, but we can use, and same drugs what are available we can use for various purpose. So similarly, if you want to introduce a new drug, so it is not simple. So it will take some years of time to introduce a new drug. Already we know, just for introducing of that vaccines, around 1 year has taken 1 year of time. And similarly for introducing of a new drug also, there will be some process. First trials will be trial 1, trial 2, trial 3, etc. And finally, if it is satisfied all the conditions, then they will allow to the market. So that is a costly process and also time consuming process. So drug repositioning is nothing but, so we can analyze, so what is the drug and what compounds it has, what chemical compound it has, and how chemical compound and how it is affecting for the various diseases. What is the drug and what it consisting of? Is it consisting of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, or it consisting of nitrogen? Anyway, just we have around 120 chemical compounds, so organic compounds, inorganic compound, etc. Just various compound, and how it is treating a particular disease. So what process is involved? Suppose I am suffering from fever. I may take just paracetamol 650 mg and etc. So what will happen? Fever is nothing but some type of infection in my body. So when I take that medicine, it will react. There should be a chemical reaction. Okay. And we know already, coming to usage of the drugs. Okay, drugs, I mean medicine, I'm saying. Okay. Some members, if they take that particular medicine, so if suppose it will be take reaction immediately, but some member just if they need to use, they need to continue that medicine up to some time, then only it will be solved. So the chemical reaction, so the reactions based on the body also, because in our body there will be white blood cells present, so that will help. Yeah. So here my point is, so at present what drugs are available, what will be the compound, and how which compound is utilizing for the what disease. If we know the information, definitely we come to know by noticing the compound, we can predict just what drugs we can implement. I mean, same drug, it is utilized not only for fever but also for cough and etc. So in that way we can make into the groups. So this is one of the use case of the clustering. Okay, drug repositioning. The number of just papers are available regarding this drug repositioning, right? So these are the use cases. So we are using especially in pharma industry. Yes. Next. So unsupervised learning, nothing but clustering. So making into groups. See, so if you observe clearly my slide, so there will be a input data of a different animals. Okay. Now what happened here? Just whenever we pass the data, so it can understand. So it learns by the data itself. Then it makes into clusters, 3 groups. So based on the similarities. Okay. So it is formed into 3 groups. Similarly, here you can see just the data we have. We have the patterns. So the total data formed into the groups. So this is unsupervised learning. We have various algorithms to understand unsupervised learning. I can use k-means clustering. So one of the unsupervised learning method. So nothing but k-means clustering. So it groups similar data points in clusters. So how it allows? So let us discuss clearly how this k-means clustering will be implemented. Suppose let us a simple example I will take. Yeah. So this is one data point. This is second. This is third. Yeah. So we have yeah, let us take here. Suppose this is okay. I will take the observations. Okay. So let us see. Here we have the data points. Let's take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I want to group into clusters. So what I will do here first, I can just by default so first I can consider this is 1. Initially I can take these 2 are the clusters. I am taking these 2 are the clusters. Initially I will decide k is equal to 2. Now what I will do, so I can find so distance from each and every data point. So that is distance from this first data point to 3 and the distance from this 1 to this 6. So which is the nearer distance I can consider. I will add that data point to the cluster. Now from here, so we can say 1 is nearer to the 3. So now 1 and 3, I can find the mean between 1 and 3. So mean is nothing but the average distance. Okay. So the mean I will take, it is approximately 2. So similarly, I can find the distance between each and every data point. So initially, I will imagine k value is equal to 2. So we have the observations 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I can take randomly, I can choose one value. I have chosen 2 clusters, 3, 6. What I will do, I can find the distance from first data, number 1 data point. So what is the distance from 1 data point to 3 and what is the distance between 1 to 6? So which one is minimum? So minimum is this one. So the 1 is belongs to 3. Then what I will do, just I will take the mean between 1, 3. It is around 2. So now similarly, I try to find the with respect to the 2. So again, first data point is completed. I will do with second data point. I will do with fourth data point. So I can do, so number of iterations I will implement. So until and unless I may get less variance. So here there is a concept. If the number of clusters, suppose if there is only one cluster, be a huge variance. Of clusters are increases, variance will be reduced. So I can say this is the one of the method. First initial take First, these are initially one of the methods, that is initialize the centroids. And for each sum, like I have shown before, for example, this is the 1 point. These are the some points we have. Except first, I can choose any 2 values or 3 values. So based on the data points. Now for each one, so each one I can find the distances, and finally these are one-dimensional data. So but we may have 2-dimensional data. So 2-dimensional data in the sense, so it is y-axis, x-axis. So this is x-axis. This is y-axis. So then here there will be data points. This is 1, 2, 3 data points. Next, suppose these 3 are the data points. So obviously we can say how many clusters are formed. We will say this is comes under one cluster. So this is comes under another cluster. Here what we will do, we will find Euclidean distance, or we may have one formula. There will be, suppose if there is a right angle triangle, how we can find hypotenuse? We may have that formula. So by using that formula, we will find the distances. So after finding the distances, which distance is less, okay, then we can add that particular data point into that cluster. That's fine. Then a new data point, and what we imagine, we will find the mean. So from that point, again, we will calculate the distances. So it is go on continuous until and unless. So the iterations will be 5 times or 10 times. I cannot say in one value, but while we are doing continuously, there is a stage comes at that time. Whenever you are doing this procedure also, the cluster points will not change. The groups will not change. So that we can take. Okay. So in this way, we can split the data into groups. Next, so advantages of k-means clustering. So before going to the advantages of k-means clustering, I want to explain. Just I have So let us take this one. Elbow curve. So which is used to decide the k value. Suppose take this. So this value is nothing but elbow. This is clusters. So 1, 2, 3, 4, I can say. And here I can write reduction in variance. Suppose my curve is like this. Yeah. So at particular 3, you can see one elbow. This point is nothing but elbow point. So this is the method used to find how many clusters I need to select to proceed. So here at point 3, I can able to, I am getting elbow point. So number of clusters I can take here as 3. Yes. So this is the one of the methods to get k value, and various methods we have, but these two I have focused. And let us explain one more concept. So here we have 2 clusters. I have formed 2 clusters. Which one is to know? So which one is giving good one? Which one is giving good accuracy? So let us take this. Yeah. Now, because of analysis, so we have clusters. 2 clusters are formed, but here this is one, this is second, first one, and it is second. If somebody will ask which one is correct, so which one is correct? So obviously we can say second. So because there is a distance, huge distance between the 2 clusters. Okay, so here the distance between the clusters is huge. So we can say second one is a correct one, good accuracy. And one more point, not only distance between the clusters, so but also we can say cohesion. I mean, so obviously for, again, if I ask, not mentioned. So here, if you observe clearly in this cluster, compared to the second cluster, the distance between the point here somewhat more, here it is less. Okay, so what I want to conclude is, so if clusters are formed, between the clusters the distance should be maximum, and the distance between the data points inside the cluster should be less. So this concept, this will help us to say which one is having good accuracy. Yeah. Next, let us discuss about advantages of k-means clustering. So it is most commonly used clustering in data analytics. Suppose if there is a scenario, so with the large data sets, even we can form different clusters by the large data sets. So this is the one of the advantages of k-means clustering. So coming to the limitations. So number of clusters must be chosen manually. So this is the limitation. Suppose, unfortunately, just if you choose the cluster initial number, if some different, we may go with the number of iterations to solve. So it will take more iterations to minimize. And next, initial centroid positions have a strong influence on the results. Yeah, that point. So it is completely depending on the what centroid positions we are taking. And it does not clusters of varying size. I mean, if sometimes density based clustering concept we have. So if the density is varying, we cannot implement k-means clustering algorithm. Yeah, these are the two drawbacks of k-means clustering. So if we just, I can so this is about k-means clustering. So briefly, if we recall what we have discussed in k-means clustering. So first we started with what is unsupervised learning. So unsupervised learning in the sense, so the data learns by itself and it will give some group. So we can take some more example clustering. So let us take a restaurant. Suppose just general life scenario, general real life example. So there will be a dining table. So this is one table, and here you can see restaurant. So many dining tables will be there. Will be another dining table. So here okay, 1, 2, 4 persons, and here also 4 persons. 1, 2, 3, 4. So here what we can say clearly that. So this is table A. And this is a table B. So in table A, these 4 persons. So 4 persons are, so they are sitting near, means we can say that they are related to each other. So A is one cluster, this A is one cluster and this B is another cluster. So the table B, the persons, So who are sitting nearer to the table B? So they are related, and we can say there is no relation between the person who is at table A and table B. So this is a general example, clustering. And coming to a pharmacy, if you go to the pharmacy, nearer to the pharmacy to purchase some medicine, and we will consult doctor, and they may write a various medicine. But in the pharmaceutical store, so different number of medicines are available, even though then they can able to give within by taking less time. So it is also possible by making into the groups. So just they can take rack 1, 2, etc. So they will divide the medicines. So based on the usage, based on the effects, etc. So that's why they have already divided. So based on the division, then they can select, they can take the suitable medicine, and they will prefer, and they will give in less number of time. So this is also possible because of clustering only. And coming to market basket analysis, if you go to the store DMart, okay, so what are regular needs? Okay, regularly what we will purchase? So that should be in one rack. Suppose all regarding some what we can say, it is child product, so they can place in one rack. Is total related to child, and it should be soft drinks, so various soft drinks and etc. So they also will organize. So what is the importance of organizing or grouping here? The customer can able to take easily can take, suppose I want to get a particular soft drink, so where I can, so if that are all separated, easily that can be taken. Yeah, so this is also one of the importance application of clustering. Yes. Yeah, so the main use cases I have explained. Just I want to repeat, today class I have explained what is clustering and what is unsupervised learning, clustering, and use cases. I have started with one use case, that is about the virus, infection virus. Yeah, so based on the spreading of the virus, not only that, just we can take, even if the virus is spread, even in COVID time also, especially Maharashtra, the number of cases are increased more. But in some places, the cases are controlled. There should be some scenario. The spreading, it is because of the location where they are, etc. So we can make into the groups, and suitable steps we can apply, suitable precautions we can suggest for the people who are living a particular situation. Yeah. Next, one more use case I have explained regarding the test, a particular test. So various tests we have. Suppose if you are having health issues regarding the platelet count, different tests are available. If there is a so and so test which is very costly, so to overcome that, we need to take the data, historical data, and what are the symptoms corresponding to the particular test. If we have that information, we can suggest what whether you need to go for the test or not. And next, one more use case I have explained regarding the genomics. So genomics is nothing but a DNA sequence. So with rest, if we know the DNA sequence, we can find the gene function. So DNA is different. So if based on the DNA, so we can predict, we can say what are the diseases the person may suffer in future, etc. So these are the major use cases. So in clustering in the field of pharma. So tomorrow we will discuss how we need to implement so this clustering concept in Python. We will discuss, and So today, just I will show, just I will use one programming language called Python. So Python, it is very important to understand the concept of machine learning. So I will show how this interface is looking like. Yeah. So this is the code. This we will discuss tomorrow. To understand, K means clustering algorithm. Okay. So we will take one data set. So the data set is nothing but a particular in US, United States. So in a particular state, what happened is at a particular time, some huge years, how many the medicines are purchased and how many are reimbursed and how many are not reimbursed. So regarding the medicine, various kinds of medicine, various categories, and which medicine they purchased, which type of medicines they purchased, which one is not purchased, and etc. So there is an analysis related to the pharma data set, and to analyze the data set, we need some information. So regarding the Python, so we will share the Python videos. Tame the Python videos in the description box. So what you need to do, just for before attending tomorrow's session, so please go through with our recorded session on Python programming by senior trainers. So if you go through with the recorded videos of Python programming, so you may have the minimum knowledge. So what is Python programming? Why it is important? It is very important in data science. So how to use and etc. So total information you may get, and then it is very helpful to understand the concepts, so which we will deliver from tomorrow. Okay. The link will be shared in the description box. So in the comment section as well. So please click that link and just go with all recorded videos of our institution. So it is definitely helps you a lot. And if you go with the code, it should be like import pandas as PD. Yeah, pandas is a package, so which will work on data frame application, because here we are going to analyze the data. So we need to analyze the data, we need to make the data into various clusters, etc. So these are the required things like sklearn. These are the packages, sklearn dot cluster, and we need to import k-means. These are all programming stuff. Just we need to import once. Yeah. So when you import, what will happen? So it is very easy to analyze the data. So in Python, it is providing various packages. So each package is responsible for various operations. So various things, etc. Yeah, and let us load the data set. Yeah, this is the data set. And okay, if you see here, variable explorer, if you click the data set, So this data set consisting of the columns. So one is index and next it is state AR. So AR is a state in US. And next it is package size. So package size means, yeah, how many it comes, just this is the medicine product name. Yeah, Provision. So usually it will have only one. So next Tram so it mainly consisting of 5, etc. So each one, so some every product, some will having only one, some will consisting of 5 and etc. This is about package size. Next product name. And next, how many units are reimbursed and how many are not. Number of prescriptions. So prescription gives, so prescriptions in the sense, in how many prescriptions that name is mentioned, that product name is mentioned, like. So it is total amount reimbursed. Yeah, Medicaid amount and non-Medicaid amount. And here we may not use about non-Medicaid amount and NDC last. So National Drug Code. So every drug having one particular code, that is about NDC. Yeah. So in the data set, so what we will do tomorrow, so we can find the patterns and we can separate that data set into the clusters. So we will discuss, I will explain from starting onwards. So before that, just go through with the Python videos, so that already we shared. Yeah. And okay, friends, thank you. So please subscribe our channel. Thank you, friends. Have a nice day. Bye.